Oh my god. This was the episode of moments. Let's stop there. Let's start there. This was the episode of moments. First and foremost, we have to go there. We have to go there. Rhaenyra had her queen of fucking dragons moment. Her mother of dragons moment. Point blank period. Secondly, we can talk about Alicent. She had her Ophelia moment. I love a good reference. I especially like when a work references its own predecessor, right? So Rhaenyra's Mother of Dragons / Queen of Dragons moment was iconic and reminiscent of Daenerys, obviously, right? Alicent had her own like Ophelia moment, right? She's kind of like depressed. She's quote quote like going mad, right? And that's literally the Ophelia. I think it's a painting, but I think it comes from Hamlet or the other way around. I don't know. Either the painting was first or Hamlet was first, but the moment was still there regardless. I love a good callback or reference to like, a very important piece of art or history and things like that. I love that type of stuff. I think we got some interesting character work from Jace this episode. Like, that was what stood out to me the most, more than what we're going to get into. Okay, but let's start off with Jace. I feel like he had a really good character moment. He's starting to believe that Massaria is, like, giving his mom bad ideas, right? Like, he's starting to think, like, Massaria is kind of whispering in her ear too much, right? But, come to find out, he only feels that way because he realizes that once Rhaenyra is dead and gone, all these bastards that she's trying to give a dragon have the same claim to the throne that Jace has. When Rhaenyra dies, let's say everything goes honky-dory and Rhaenyra gets the fucking Iron Throne. Let's say she dies at age 45, right? Let's say she got pregnant again or some shit and she died during some sort of childbirth or sickness or whatever she died from. Let's just say she dies at 45. So Jace is there with his brown hair. He literally called her out for, like, having sex with whatever that guard was that night that was killed previously. Like, he's like, bro, I know who my dad is. I'm a fucking bastard. If you bring all of these bastards into the castle to claim a dragon, I'm the only bastard with a dragon as of right now. If you bring these other bastards into the mix, they have a claim just like I do. Like, I'm not more qualified as far as blood goes than they are. Period. So now, that's where Jace is coming from. Very valid, very understandable. Hopefully it doesn't mean he's gonna, like, start sabotaging some shit. Or hopefully it doesn't mean he's gonna start, like, interfering with shit that needs to happen with these new dragon riders. Also, that being said, let's talk about the fucking Targaryen bastard massacre. Right? First of all, let's give Rhaenyra her flowers for her moment where she was like, well, we're gonna fucking raise an army of bastards. That was badass as fuck. Because at first, it's like, as a highborn person, of course you don't want, like, bastards and shit getting the same claim to shit that you got. But Adam kind of changes that, right? Adam is this guy nobody fucking knows about. The sea snake doesn't, like, let anybody know about this son that he has, this bastard. So Adam claims this dragon. Well, the dragon claimed fucking Adam, right? And Rhaenyra's like, what the hell? Like, who even are you? Who and why? And it changes her perspective on Dragon Rider. She's like, oh shit, it doesn't have to be some great noble person. The dragons don't care about that. The dragons care about blood. They don't care about honor. They don't care about all of this other shit. They are loyal to blood, period. So it can be a bastard. It could be someone working in a whorehouse. Rhaenyra is literally doing her thing, right? She is leaving no stone unturned. And I'm just happy that she's finally like strategizing, like doing stuff, you know what I mean? Like, because she has been sitting for a while, like with her hands tied, but now she's making moves, right? Like, now she's playing chess, essentially, right? So it turns out the witch was right? Like, all Daemon had to do was sit down and do nothing. the cards would play out in their favor. But how long is that gonna last, right? Like, how long could that last? Let's talk about the guy who did exactly what Daemon told him to do. You know, go into the town and slaughter all their women and children. Not all, but go in there and shake them up a bit, rough them up a bit. That motherfucker goes in and does some egregious, like, heinous acts, killing the innocent, killing citizens, killing women and children, people who have nothing to do with anything, to break the morale and break the spirits of the people so he can have more swords. And he said, you know, rather than love, I will get my army through fear. Doesn't work, right? We saw that in Game of Thrones when, Cersei had a bunch of soldiers for hire, right? Like, all of those soldiers were hired. They didn't give a fuck. They didn't care. They weren't fighting for Cersei, which is why, when shit hit the fan, they surrendered. They were not willing to die for fucking Cersei. So, when it's a war, when it's an army, there has to be some sort of patriotism or a belief in what you're fighting for, or else it's not going to matter. You're not going to fight your hardest. You're not going to fight to win. It's going to be whatever. So, sure, they may have the Riverland swords or whatever, but Daemon thinks with his sword before his brain, so none of them fucking like him. And he's kind of fucking over Rhaenyra's chances too by getting all these people against himself and doing it in the name of Rhaenyra. It's getting bad, right? Like, it's not good. And you'd think he'd learn his lesson, but no, he doesn't. So that little kid who was like, yeah, we're going to hold our oath to Viserys and Rhaenyra, but fuck you, Daemon. He was the real MVP right there, because that's literally how I feel. At the end of the day, Daemon is a piece of shit. He's, like, an awful person. He has no fucking morals whatsoever. And, yeah, he's absolutely atrocious. So I'm glad that there's a character who kind of is where I'm at. I'm Team Black, but I'm not Team Daemon. Let's go on to Aegon. So Aegon is learning how to walk. He's relearning how to walk. He looks absolutely awful. And this Larys guy has really, really taken a liking to him. He's taken such a liking to him that he's trying to help him walk. He's being hard on him for his recovery, right? He's telling the maesters, like, yeah, like, obviously he's in pain. Obviously we're pushing him, but we're pushing him so he gets better sooner. Because if he's unable to walk, how could he possibly even try to defend himself against anything that Aemon or anyone else tries to do to him, right? So this Larys guy, I don't know if that's his name. I keep forgetting, but he's the whisperer guy. The guy with the whispers who knows all the tea, right? With the limp. That guy is really putting his best foot forward to help Aegon get back on his feet, get back better. And I commend him for that. Because this whole show, it has seemed like he has, like, a liking. Like, he had taken a liking to Aegon. Is that because he's easily manipulated? Who knows, right? Let's go on to Alicent. So, Alicent is in her Ophelia. She's in full Ophelia mode. It looks like she's abandoned the castle. She's abandoned her kids. She's abandoned her duties. Which, at this point, she has no seat in the court. She doesn't feel welcome. Like, by her own kids, she does not feel welcome. Which is sad because, from last episode, it seems her and Helena seem to be getting along pretty fine. So she kind of abandoned Helena there. And I did see in the previews for the next episode that Aemon's gonna try and send her to fucking war. Right? And so Alicent could have been there, or could or should be there to protect her kids. She knows Helena is soft and gentle and isn't about war and all that shit. And she's literally failing her kids again. That's not me saying it's not hard to be in her position, because it is really hard to have, a kid who's a fucking monster and another kid who's almost death you are, pretty responsible for. Not 100%, but she did play a role in him going to war, right? Like, the words she said to him were that final push that made him decide to do something, like, stupid or drastic or however you want to call it. So let's talk about the Targaryen fucking massacre of, like, the bastards. That shit was epic. Like, that was iconic. Like, it was giving, like, you have nothing to lose. So you either come here, make your life better, or you come here to die. Those are your options. I love when Rhaenyra was like, I have nothing left to say. The dragon will have to do the rest of the talking. And so he kills all of those, like, bastard Targaryens. Like, almost all of them. And the guy we've been seeing over and over and over, his storyline finally has some payoff, right? Like, he is going to be the dragon rider of Venomore, whatever, second biggest dragon. He's just a bit smaller than Vhagar, right? So, this guy with the, I think she's, she's brown. I don't know what she is exactly, but he had the brown wife and the daughter who got really sick, and I'm guessing she died because this episode was kind of like saying that, oh yeah, like, I couldn't protect our daughter, so I think she is dead. And because we didn't see her, right? So she probably died from her sicknesses. He's going to be a fucking dragon rider. Now, he seems to be someone with some good morals and blah, 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 blah. I feel kind of like at odds because how can you trust these people, right? Like, Adam, I don't even trust, honestly. If I'm being so honest, I do not trust Adam at all. I don't trust Adam. I don't trust the guy who accidentally stepped on the dragon egg and started, like, at the very, very end of the episode and started riding his dragon to King's Landing. At first, I thought he was, like, going rogue. He was like, oh my god, I found a dragon. And then he went fucking rogue. That's what I thought. But no, it seems like it was just, it seems like it was Rhaenyra flexing her muscles. Like, okay, we have 3 grown dragons now. 3 grown dragons. And we see that Aemond sees this dragon, and he takes the bait, and he's like, all right, fuck it. Come on, Vhagar, let's go. So him and Vhagar go to Dragonstone, and from his iconic eyesight, I guess, he notices, oh shit, there's 3 adult dragons. We're dead if we go over there. So now they finally have what they need to be able to fight Vhagar. Period. Nice. The witch was right? Daemon did not do, what he wanted to do, which was probably go back to Dragonstone, probably interfere, blah, 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 blah. Rhaenyra has been making moves on her own, even though poor Jace feels intimidated by these Targaryens with silver hair, right? Like, with the same amount of Targaryen blood that he has, right? So he feels pretty intimidated by these people, because once Rhaenyra dies, they're probably all gonna fight over the fucking throne again. Like, it just never ends. It'll be a never-ending cycle of, okay, well, you're a bastard, I'm a bastard, I want the fucking throne, right? I did find it kind of funny how once Adam, like, got a dragon, he still didn't really get his dad's approval, but he kind of got it, right? Like, the sea snake told him, well done. What do you mean, well done? He hasn't done anything. It's just that now that he is a dragon, you want to be nice to him, you want to acknowledge him, now that he is a fucking dragon, now that he is, quote, quote, of importance. When he was a lowborn bastard, you didn't give a fuck, he was just your worker. He talked more to the bald guy. He talked more to him than he talked to Adam, right? Piece of shit dad, piece of garbage. But yeah, so that's where we're at now. Pretty fucking interesting. Cannot wait. The next episode is the season finale. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully Helena does not end up having to go to war, because she doesn't deserve to have to do that. Can't wait to see how these 2 old fucking fart asses, can't wait to see what they do with their dragons, man. Like, shit is really heating up. Like, Rhaenyra finally has, like, an actual shot at this, which I'm happy about, because, like, my girl was struggling with nothing for a very long time. Like, seriously. And now that the Riverlands are secured, or whatever, their soldiers and stuff, hopefully Daemon can go back. Like, I cannot wait for Daemon and Rhaenyra to have another interaction, because what the fuck is going to happen? What is going to be said? Anyways, let's talk about Reyna deserting the children. Huh? What are you doing? It seems like she resents the fact that she's not, like, doing more for the war effort. But, like, abandoning Rhaenyra's children is kind of, like, really bad. It's kind of awful. So I'm really curious to see what's going to happen with Rhaena's plotline, because, girl, where are you going? You want to claim this wild dragon, probably. That's probably what she wants. She wants to claim the wild dragon. Whoa, voice crack. She wants to claim the wild dragon, but she's probably going to get killed or hurt in the process or something like that. Rhaenyra's kids are left fucking vulnerable and alone. It's just not a good idea, and it's kind of selfish, but kind of selfless, right? Like, she wants to do more. She wants to help out more. She doesn't want to just be a fucking babysitter. She wants a dragon. And that's fair, but at the same time, it's like, girl, if I leave you with my kids and, you know, you maybe don't so much agree, but you kind of accept the assignment, and I find out that you fucking deserted my kids, you're done for. I'm so sorry, you're disowned, you're done, that's it. But she wants to help, and she wants to find her own way to help, find a more meaningful way to help. She's probably going to try and claim this wild dragon. We'll see if it works, man. We'll see if it works. Other than that, I think I covered pretty much everything. I think I am pro Cole and Alicent now, just because everyone needs someone. Anyways, that all being said, bye. See you guys next week.